Do you deal with any kind of perfectionism when it comes to yourself and in terms of social media?
Obviously, when I would Facetune my insecurities, like fix the tip a little, like fix my brows, my eye looks a little lazy. So I just realized people are seeing me in real life. So they're going to be like, who is this girl? So I just accepted myself for who I am. I'm like, whatever, I feel secure. I give myself like
How are you feeling?
excited, nervous, everything.
What's making you nervous?
This is my first ever podcast.
How do you cultivate your friendships?
Okay, so I've had pretty bad experiences with friendships, but only ones that I formed later in life through college. And then when I had those bad experiences and those bad moments with them, it really reminded me of the true definition of a friend, which I found with my childhood friends and other friends that I friended along the way. So a true friend will like I said, give it to me straight, put me in my place when I need to be. We all make mistakes, like we're all human, it happens. So I think for me, a good friendship and a good friend is someone who knows me through and through and will check me, but will also give me advice the right way and not in like a condescending way where, oh babe, like those pick me girls. So I've had a few of those friendships and they stabbed me in the back, but I'm like, you know what, it's fine. At least now I know that my real friends are my real friends and I have them with me.
Do you feel like over time, like as you grew your social media following, that you're more picky with the people you allow into your life?
Not really, actually, like I don't even think of that. Meeting people, networking, it's a fun thing to do. I'm quite social amongst my friends and with other people, so I don't really think about it that much. And then they see my Instagram, they're like, oh shit, you have 30 plus. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I do. Anyways, how's your day? I just brush past it. I never really like talk about it that much.
Well, that's a good thing. Oh, I'm curious to know, how did that happen?
One day I was just sitting on my couch in LA and I'm like, I've been getting a lot of requests because my friend Rima Sana is like a big influencer. And I just looked at her, I'm like, God, I'm getting so many requests. She's like, just, make it public. I'm like, really? Should I? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, sure. Right then and there, I'm just like, make it public. And then boom, it just started going and going. I mean, Arabs love Arab girls, so they made it pretty easy for me. They just saw, and then I started putting more effort in like my style and my fashion, and then my yoga when I'm posting yoga and just lifestyle. People love Arab girls.
They do though.
Yeah.
It's true. I think that people secretly have a fetish for Arab girls. But
I agree.
I mean, in terms of the things you post, like in terms of like, what are your intentions when you are posting? Is there a thought that goes behind it? Is there any restrictions that you have on yourself of what you choose and what you don't choose to post?
Yeah, so pretty early on, I was like a little reckless with what I was posting in terms of like outfits and clothes. And then my mom was just like, be careful. You don't know how many creeps are out there. You don't know, like, you just don't want to put yourself in that position. And I'm like, okay, let me tone it down. So instead of just posting anything with whatever I'm wearing, I'm like, okay, this outfit maybe is not for Instagram, it's for my friends and not for the public eye. And then also like if I get a job within the next few years, or, you don't want that authoritative figure just like looking down on you. So I just post something that I know if 50 million people see, they're going to be fine with it. So I'm like, okay, think that way. Make sure you know what you're doing and how you're dressing. Not saying I'm like super modest and stuff, but I'm just myself with a few more restrictions, like an Arab girl, not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just that there's like always this balance between like what you're posting, like what you want people to see, what you want to keep private to yourself.
True.
I mean, in terms of like that, in terms of like privacy, and how do you deal with the privacy that you set for yourself in your life?
I made a Finsta.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No. So when I'm posting, for example, my friends, I know certain friends don't like to be posted on Instagram. So I just, make sure not to do that. But then I have a lot of friends that are like, yeah, just don't tag me. Because once you tag them, they're going to get bombarded with requests and like weird DMs. And it reached a point actually where my mom and my friends' moms would comment and then they would get bombarded, and I'm like, oh shit, sorry, that's me. So yeah, I'm just very selective with who wants to be shown and who doesn't want to be shown.
Yeah, that makes sense because I think it's like at the end of the day, you want to respect everybody's privacy, including yourself.
You don't want to just put them there and be like, hi, yeah, everyone can see you.
Do you deal with any kind of perfectionism when it comes to yourself and in terms of social media?
This is where I admit that I used to use Facetune like crazy when I first started out, but it was a thing, like 2016, 17, it was like the vibe then. So I would heavily Facetune. It was bad. It was tragic. And then I just realized, looking back at those pictures sometimes, I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Like, that is not my nose. You know what I mean? So now I just stopped doing that. Obviously, sometimes I would fix if like my shirt needs to be fixed or, if a blemish is like blemishing, I'm like, let's remove her. But I stopped changing my features because I don't know what I was thinking. I was so young and I'm like young and dumb.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I feel like social media in general has so much pressure on everybody, whether you're a man or you're a woman. Like there are the pressures of it.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense. Obviously, like every person like that, it's like this ideal image that you see on social media. So you want to fulfill that image and you want to make yourself appear in a certain way. So it does make sense. And I think that it's just like having the awareness of it.
Yeah.
To like ground yourself. But how have you navigated your own relationship with your body over time through it?
Right. So obviously when I would Facetune my insecurities, like fix the tip a little, like fix my brows, my eye looks a little lazy. So I just realized people are seeing me in real life. So they're going to be like, who is this girl? So I just accepted myself for who I am. I'm like, whatever. I feel secure. I give myself like, I have that confidence now, which I built over the years, and I'm happy to have reached that point in my life. And honestly, a lot of my friends helped me reach that point. Sometimes you're just lacking that confidence. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, look at you, whatever. And they just hype you up, like they're just your girls, and that's why I think having those group of friends around you who are going to hype you up, who are going to make you feel like you're at the top of the world is so important. So I owe a lot of my confidence to the people around me.
I think that's crazy because like I'm looking at you now. Firstly, mashallah, you're beautiful. Secondly, it's like you wouldn't think that you had any of those insecurities. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people miss when it comes to what they see on social media. It's like, oh, they must be so happy. They must think that they're perfect and that they're living the best life.
Little do they know.
Yeah.
It's not what it really is.
Yeah, you don't see what's actually going on. So it's interesting in that way. And how have you, like, yes, your friends have supported you, but what have you done for yourself that has allowed you to be able to feel more secure and confident in yourself?
Well, I started moving my body, like actually doing workouts and stuff, which made me feel better about myself. I started yoga, honestly, like yoga when I first moved back. I tried one class at first and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I just did it for fun because I'm not really a big fan of HIIT workouts and something so intense and you're just like, oh my God, I'm dying over here. Stop, cut it. I'm going to throw up. I like something slow, but also like intense at the same time, something that's going to make me feel sore the next day and something where I can something where I'm going to see results. You know what I mean? So I took one yoga class when I first moved back to Jeddah, 2021. And I'm like, oh shit, I kind of like this. Let me try another class. And then I started experimenting with different teachers. And I'm like, not my favorite. Let me try her. Oh, wait, she's good. Let me try, So I started dabbling around. I found one teacher. Her name's Yasmin. She's insane. She literally changed my life. Once I got into yoga, I'm like, oh, wow, this is like a rebirth. Who is this new person? And I felt it like from the inside. I'm like, okay, I think this is for me. And I just started practicing constantly, going to classes, practicing alone, and then giving myself different challenges. Because with yoga, there's different things you can do, like inversions, handstands, headstands, all these things. And I'm like, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do? And every class was like a new milestone that I was reaching. And I'm like, okay, this is my niche right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's like you're like hitting goals. And that's something that I always encourage people to do. Like if you have any kind of goal that you're trying to reach, like taking those small steps into reaching that bigger goal, that's what builds confidence over time. And like, especially with yoga, like yoga really grounds you into yourself.
And you see results. Like
you see results.
Who would have thought, like it changed my body completely. Like I was always pretty petite, but I was never toned and, like put together. But once I started doing that, I'm like, are those muscles that I have? Like, are those back muscles? And I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, this is cool. And I'm like, okay, let me continue. What else can I do with yoga? Yoga helps me set my goals and achieve them pretty quickly. Like there's one move, the pincha, which is, if you guys don't know, like the forearm stand. Some people, it would take them like years to do. It took me 3 months. I'm like, what is this? What am I doing with my body? And then my friends were seeing it. They're like, what's going on? And something else actually is I had zero flexibility. Zero. I used to do taekwondo with my friends back in like 10th grade or something. I could not reach my toes for the life of me. I was like breaking my back, and like my taekwondo teacher would give me so much shit for it. Once I started yoga, wow, girl, I can fold over as much as I want. I'm like, who would have thought I would get to this point of flexibility? And it was one of my biggest goals, honestly, to reach that point where I can do the splits. And a few months ago I did it, and I'm like,
And it feels so good when you can say that to yourself, like, oh, I did that. I put in the work and I made it work.
Yeah.
Did it. Yeah.
And my friends were like, you were like a stick, you couldn't do anything. I was so stiff and rigid. And the fact that I was able to do the splits, front splits, not middle splits, still working on that. But the front splits, it's like a major accomplishment of mine.
Well, what has yoga done for you in terms of your physical health? Because there's like the mind health, of course, it helps you with the discipline and the strength and the confidence. But what has it done for you physically in your body?
Okay, well, Mama, I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but I used to faint a lot in LA. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the malnutrition. I don't know what it was. I used to faint, like I'd have random fainting spells, and I got it checked out. It was the anemia, according to my friend, used to call me anemia. I would faint at random moments. I'd be chilling with all my friends, chopping onions, as one does, cooking up some dinner. Suddenly, I'm like, guys, I think I'm about to faint right now. They're like, what? No one's really like believing me. And I'm like, no, I'm for real. I'm going to faint right now. So can you like situate me? And one of my friends, I don't know why, thought it would be a great idea to just get a water bottle and just spill it all over me to wake me up. And I'm like, I just fainted and now I'm drenched. What's going on, So I had a lot of that in LA, and I moved back. Suddenly I didn't faint. Actually, fainted once, but it was a separate occasion. But yeah, yoga helped me get my physical health in check. I'm toned, and it made me more inclined to dabble into proteins and, like workout shakes and stuff like that. So I think my body is way more healthy than it used to be in LA around all the junk and whatnot. So now that I'm here, I'm very, like, I'll have days where I'll eat bad, but not junk food, just like unhealthy food. But mostly I like to eat clean-ish to an extent.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's crazy, the fact that you fainted that much. And it's like, I cannot even imagine what that would feel like. I feel like the idea of fainting is so scary.
But I get a warning before, like my ears start ringing, my vision gets blurry, and I'm like, okay, it's going to happen now. It happened at random times. Like, I can't even tell you, it's just so random. So thank God that stopped. Thank you, yoga.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, like true. Yeah, I think like, yeah, one of the things like I think that can like really stop you to like pay attention to your health is like when you experience something like that.
Yeah, it's so scary too, because you're like, what's going on? Why is my blood pressure dropping so much? You know, and it's because you're not moving your body, you're not giving your body that nutrition and the vitamins, you know, and like the stuff that every person should do. We abandon ourselves and we don't realize it as much, you know, we just lose ourselves sometimes and you get those phases, but it's very important to just wake up and realize, okay, it was just like I was in a funk. So what can I do to get out of this funk? How can I move my body? How can I nutrition myself?
And how has your relationship with your body changed because of that? The way you nourish yourself, the way you take care of yourself.
I love my body now. I don't think of, I mean, I feel like almost every girl had this, but we had that some sort of bad-ish relationship with food sometimes, especially when we were younger and social media was just starting and stuff. I wouldn't say I had a bad relationship with food, but it wasn't like the greatest. Like sometimes I had a bad year in LA where I was just so skinny and I wasn't eating. And my mom was like, look at yourself. And I'm like, I know, what is this? What's going on? So now I really I never want to reach that point in my life where I was literally skin and bones and it was scary for my friends to see. So I make sure to just always stay healthy, eat good, dabble in some quote unquote junk food, but also like, it's fine. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? So I just ground myself.
After you've been through so much in life, obviously we all go through our different phases of ups and downs. What is your relationship with yourself right now in this current phase?
I'm so happy. I feel like this is the person that I needed to find through all these years, through all like the hardships that I faced. I'm so content with where I am, with my physical activity, with my friendships, with my family, with my career, you know. It's so refreshing to wake up and you're like, oh, okay, it's just another beautiful day instead of like, you know, why did I wake up? You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel so happy. I feel so blessed also and grateful. So yeah.
That makes me so happy. I love knowing and hearing that people are like in a happy place right now.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot to get there.
Yeah.
And obviously we all go through those phases of those ups and downs, like I said. And knowing that being able to reflect with yourself through those phases is what keeps you going.
Yeah.
And knowing that
who was she? Who was this girl like 4 years ago? You know, I don't know her. This is me now.
And that's it feels really good.
Yeah.
I can feel it on you. Like I can see the glow. Truly, like you do glow and you feel very calm and very centered, which is really nice. And it feels very warming to see somebody in that way, to connect with somebody in this way, knowing that they're comfortable with themselves, that they're feeling good about themselves. Like it also inspires others. Like when you show up in this way, you're inspiring other people to do the same. You're inspiring yourself to keep going in that direction. So I appreciate you for doing the work, for helping navigate yourself through it all, because again, it's not easy.
Yeah. I mean, you're reflected by the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are also happy, positive, you know, the whole shebang, then that's how you will feel. Whereas if it's the other way around, you're going to feel so drained, and so it'll take an emotional toll on you. So make sure you surround yourself with the right people.
I think that is very important.
Yeah.
Well, I want to end off with a rapid fire question round.
Oh,
it'll be fun. It'll be light.
Okay.
And
I don't know if I do well under pressure, so like,
take your time with it.
Okay.
So the first question is, a song that best describes you.
I can only think of one, and I don't even listen to it that much, but it's The Man by Taylor Swift. I'm sorry for just
Listen, I'm a Swift.
I'm a Swiftie. I love her.
Yes.
So the song is talking about like anything a man can do, I can do even better. So for some reason, that's the only thing that came to my head. I'm sure there's other songs that'll resonate with more, But yeah, right now it's the man.
Well, I love that because that is a great song, and anything Taylor Swift, I'm supporting. So I can see that for yourself.
Facts.
Worst and favorite current thing trending on social media, on TikTok, wherever it is.
Oh, okay. Favorite thing trending is there's two audios that I'm constantly saying. The first one is the brother audio, and I say it like through random things. The second one is that you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees. No, I say that with everything. Like my friends and I are playing this board game called Jackaroo, and I'm saying it nonstop, and they're like, "Stop playing! Like, leave the house! Like, halas, enough!" Because I'm just constantly saying it. So that's my favorite thing, like favorite audio. Worst, what is it? Worst trend or worst whatever it is?
Yeah.
Let me think about that. I think oh, just the excessive Taylor Swift hate that she's been getting. It's like, why? She's just a person. Since she found her Travis Kelsey, everyone's been like giving her so much shit. I'm like, let the girl live,
People just want to hate, They want what's they don't have.
You just want to find the target, and it's Miss Taylor. Like, why? What is the girl doing? She's just writing some bangers.
Yeah, we need to build some kind of guard army for her.
Oh yeah. Me and you like standing like right there defending her.
Exactly.
I love her, honestly.
What would you do if you were to go to space right now? What would you take, and what would you do there?
Oh, I love everything that has to do with space. Everything about it. I have a little tattoo dedicated to my love for space. It's a little star. Where I would go, what I would take. I take my phone for Spotify because I'd want to be listening to Starman by David Bowie when I'm in outer space. And maybe like a nice book to read, just like something light, if I'm floating and drifting. And a camera, maybe a Polaroid actually, so I can have like physical evidence that I'm in outer space.
That's a good one. And like a nice book, you get a view, you get a scene.
Why not? Maybe a friend, to keep me company if like that's the vibe. Or yeah, but I think I'm good with the camera and a book and like music for now.
You never know. You might find it.
Sorry, friends, leaving without you.
But you might find an alien up there. You can befriend an alien.
Why not? Why not?
You can only say one word or one phrase for the rest of your life. What would that be?
Oh my, saw that one. Well, serendipity. I say that word for everything. Like I've been having so many weird coincidences, and I just like look at my friends and be like, serendipity, and they'd be like, oh, shut up, khalas, enough. So serendipity, that's the word. I stand by it.
The more you say it, the more serendipitous life will get. So
thank you. Wow. Really connecting over here.
What would you tell anyone who is really going through a really hard time right now and needs some words of encouragement?
This too shall pass. Give yourself some time, give yourself some loving, and talk about your feelings. As much as you might not want to, talk about it. Like gradually with time, you'll get to that place where you look back on those times and quite literally laugh. So yeah, talk about your feelings.
I said 2 questions, but honestly, I just thought of a second one, which I think is going to be really important for people.
Oh, okay.
And that is, what would you advise to anybody who's looking to make real, genuine friends?
Real, genuine friends. See if they reflect your morals and what you find, like what you're looking for in yourself. Try to see if they reflect that. You know what I mean? So like-minded people, even if they're the complete opposite of you, if they have like the same morals, the same thoughts when it comes to certain situations, if it's a girl, is she a girl's girl? If it's a guy, is he like okay with listening to your feelings and talking to you instead of just being a bro? You know what I mean? And also introduce them to your mother. You know, it's not just for relationships, it's for friendships too. Like, she will know. She will know.
I love that. Yeah. I love that answer. I wanted to expand a little bit on that in terms of, I think that what's really important also is embody the friendships that you want for yourself. Like you said, like if you want a friend who's going to be a good listener, then you also be a good listener.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a two-way street. So if you're going to want someone to listen to you while you cry and you go through it, be prepared to do the same, but not see it as like don't dread it, you know, but acts like, I think, hear them out and see how you as a person can offer your services as a friend and how like you can help them through it. Because if you're a true friend, you'd never want to see your friend go through these things and go through hardships. Like, seeing my friends like hurt in any way, feel any sort of pain, kills me, you know. And it's not just the empath in me, it's like, I don't want her to go through this. I know what it might feel like, what it resembles. I don't want her to go anywhere near that. So what can I do to get her out of that space? What can I do to distract her? Like, how can we turn this around? Like, I want to protect my friends as much as I can, whether it's their emotions, their actions, like us together. I'm so protective over my friendships because they're so sacred to me. They're so, so important to me. So I will die for them. I will go through the ringer for them. So if I can find a way to protect them and help them through it, I will. So as long as you find that person and you're willing to do the same, then that friend's a keeper.
I love that. And the final question is there a motto that you live by that you wish other people could instill in themselves?
Don't stop believing, as Journey said. I don't have a specific motto. I like to just tell myself, take it day by day. Don't think too much into the future. You don't know what it holds. So just take it day by day, slow it down, wake up early. I think that's a good motto. Like, wake up early. It changes your day. I swear to God. Like, the later you wake up, the shittier you'll feel. So wake up at 7 a.m., try it out for a couple of days. Even on weekends, just try it out, see what it does to you, and thank me later.
I agree. Truly though. Like, wake up early, people.
Yeah,
make a difference in your life. Well, thank you so much. Like, genuinely, I really enjoyed this conversation. I enjoyed connecting with you, and I personally feel like I made a new friend today, so I'm really happy about that.
You're a Swiftie. Of course, you're my friend now. Like, obviously. And hopefully to many more moments. And thank you for hearing me out and just like hearing everything that I was saying. I was talking a lot, so thank you for listening.
No, I think everything you said is so valuable, and I know that so many people are going to gain so much information and resources from you. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me this platform.
Thank you. Bye.
More budget. Side note.
That's like God.